This week I want to talk about something a little bit different. This week, and I don't know how many people talk about this, but I want to talk about motorcycle clubs. So just to give an update on the keto diet, there's not really an update. I haven't lost any weight. I don't know what gives. I think maybe what happened was I told you guys about my keto diet and how awesome it was, and oh, there's an Acura NSX. Old school, first gen or whatever you want to call it. I think what happened is I told you guys what I was doing and then sabotaged myself. Because I said how awesome it was, it turned out to be not awesome. So I'm still at 197 as of a couple days ago. So I gotta really focus, concentrate, make it happen. So what I'm doing up here is I'm meeting with a motorcycle club. I ran into this guy at the activity center in San Marcos. He was out watching the unicycle football, and we talked for a minute about different things. He sent me a message today asking me if I was available to ride with them. They're going to meet up here at the Harley shop, and so I was kind of like, yeah, I can make that. So we'll see how this all goes. See if there's any. Yeah, it looks like there's several people here. I don't see. Oh, they got music playing. Hey, so where's the non-Harley parking? See if I can find my buddy. I don't like that smell. I think I'm leaking pretty bad. So there's a couple of fuel lines under here. One that gives the two cylinders the fuel, it splits it up to each side. And that was leaking, so I replaced that at one point. Yeah, look, it's bad. That's bad. Look, it's bad. And I think what's leaking now is this, the hose that goes from the tank into everything. Because look, it's all, I cleaned this up somewhat. I don't know if you can see it, this is dripping. I probably need to go back home. Oh, thanks. I enjoy it. What's up? I'm doing good, good. Hey, oh, watch out. I got a fuel leak, so I think I'm gonna go back home. Oh, wow. And I think it's the fuel line coming right off the tank. I think it's that,
the coupling, the clamp?
Yeah, it's a little piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of finally giving out.
We'll escort you back home if you wait for us.
Okay, are y'all heading that way?
We will.
Okay.
Make a point to get you home on your bike.
Yeah.
We'll head out of here and we'll follow you to where you want to take off your direction. And then
Okay.
We'll do our thing or find a place to ride. Or.
Yeah, I didn't know if y'all had a destination.
No, we just came out. It was just kind of winging it. We're just winging it.
Oh, that's
just
cool.
To see what's going on. We just come here to hang out.
Mind if I sit?
Okay, I'll go. We'll take these off. Get the feel about it. That's crazy.
Hey, this is something I don't have, is a fuel gauge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
I like that. For going down the highway.
Yeah.
Just lay back and
That's a different feeling.
yeah. You can ride it around here. Go around the store.
I'm all right.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. I don't want. Well, if I have an accident, I don't want to do it in front of all these people. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool, man. And what I like is when I get going and there's nobody in my way, I just lay back.
Right?
I just fall in with it. Why do you wear your helmet when you walk around?
Oh, because I have my camera on.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I'll take it off here in a minute, but
Yeah, some of these people get a little funny when you walk up to them with a helmet on.
yeah. Actually, I'll take it off now. I got a ball cap, so. All right, so I met up with the Lease of Saints. I got the president, sergeant at arms, and a couple of guys that are, I don't think they're in yet, but they're working on being part of the club. Their focus is on bringing the word. Bringing the word to people. They don't get caught up in a lot of the other things. Their focus is on evangelical, talking about Jesus, bringing in people, just doing their thing. They're just doing their thing. When it comes to motorcycle clubs, I think the main thing that everybody thinks about is the stereotypes. Motorcycle clubs, biker gangs, and I'm not gonna lie, when I see a bunch of guys on their Harleys with their leather vests and their patches, I'm a little bit intimidated. I am. It's intimidating. But I will say that I've never met somebody in a motorcycle club that was a bad person. I guess, I don't know. Like, I've never had a bad interaction with somebody in a motorcycle club. A couple of, let's see, was it a little over a year ago, last January, I went to a meetup for legislation days where they were going to talk about lane splitting and profiling, motorcycle profiling. And it was almost exclusively guys on cruisers, and everybody had their, I guess, their cuts or colors on them. And I talked to quite a few guys, and most of them were real friendly. Some of them were a little standoffish, but you know, I'm showing up to something where it's mostly cruisers, and I'm on a sport bike, and they have their vests, and I have my jacket, padded jacket, you know. So I mean, I was different. I was not like the rest of them, but they all treated me very nicely. They didn't go. Some of them didn't go out of their way to introduce themselves to me. But when I talk to people, they they were real cool. So I mean, the stereotype. I mean, there's got to be some basis in truth. All stereotypes are based in some amount of truth. So to say that none of the bikers are into those stereotypes was not entirely true, but to assume that everybody this is not true at all. So, man, that's a lot of words to say. Motorcycle clubs are out there, and I don't know a whole lot about them, so I reached out to a couple of guys that I know that are in or involved somehow with motorcycle clubs, and just kind of got an overall idea of how it works. Basically, the motorcycle clubs are an organization, not unlike any other organization you would find in your community, that focuses on something and motorcycles. When I was at legislation days, I met quite a few groups that were religious-based, Christian-based. I met one group that was focused on veterans. Everybody in the group, I believe, was a veteran. The two that I know of are, well, I guess there's three, just kind of like the regular motorcycle club where it's just hey, if you have a bike, you can be a part of our group, and then we're going to do certain things. The one guy that I talked to, his big deal was, or his thing was, they were saying that it's about sacrifice of yourself for the club or for people in your community, and they do a lot of things like toy runs for kids around Christmas. They do charity work. They do, if somebody, one of their brothers on the bikes is having some problems, they'll help him out. Like say his motorcycle's broke down and he just can't afford a new tire right then they all chip in and get him a tire. It's like a family. You can't ride with them if your bike's not registered, inspected, and insurance is up to date. If you have a handgun, you're not allowed to carry it unless you're properly licensed for it. They're very, very outstanding, very up and up. But motorcycle clubs, they have their focus, whether it's helping out veterans, helping out their neighborhood, their community, or bringing the gospel to people that may not have it. Just really, really, they're there to have people come together to help other people. That's what I took from my interaction. I don't really have an interest in joining a club. I'm not going to say I'll never join one, but I just don't have a desire to. You might be part of a club, and there's different clubs. I ran into, I forget what it was called, but it had to do with lean angle. There's a club, and I saw them at Circuit of the Americas last April, and their thing is like, they're the knee draggers. They're the ones that drop the knee in the turns, and like I think to be part of that club, you have to ride track and get way over. I'm not entirely. I wasn't really familiar, but they were definitely not They were definitely not Sons of Anarchy type motorcycle club. They were focusing on sport bikes and track riding. Really, is what they were doing. So yeah, I mean, there's basically a motorcycle club out there to bring guys together for whatever purpose. It may be related to bikes, it may be related to cars, veterans, everyday people. Who knows? Like, there's a club out there that'll fit you if you're looking for one.